Here we got our storage of planks. So we're gonna load all of these pine wood planks up. I also got a chestnut tree laying there to dry, but that one is special for other projects in the future. So we brought some trees to the sawmill and we got all these planks back, which is quite a nice stack, so we can definitely build some stuff from that. This is definitely a nice amount of wood planks. So I hope we're gonna be able to make this complete house with these planks. It still is quite some meters. I hope the length is long enough. At least they look really nice and they are dry. Laying 2 years in a windy shed really does miracles to them. We had a family member who was selling some wood equipment and I thought, well, it might suit me. So here is one of the machines. This is a mill, a very heavy one, and it has a very big set of bits with it. So I can make basically everything I want to make now with this machine. So I already got my nice table saw and now we got this machine. And this should give me ability to make a lot more stuff, a lot nicer, the way how I really like it, and the way so it can really last for a long while. And that's just because I like making my own stuff, so now I can make my own stuff even better. I also bought this dust cleaner with the mill that I bought. It's actually not that big, but still it's pretty high as you see, as it has an air filter on top. So what I need to do is to mount this somewhere on a solid base. I already figured that we got a shed here on the other side of the workshop, and we have here a whole corner with all kind of mess. So the best place to put it would be here in the back corner, and I already cleaned it out. There was a pile of stuff here that basically made no sense to keep, so it's easy throwing that away. And now we can put the dust cleaner in here, and I'm still gonna see if I want to keep the original chassis or if I want to mount it on a completely different way so it takes up less space. As I really like it when things don't take up too much space, and I also don't want stuff sitting on the shelf, as when stuff sits on the shelf it gets really dusty and yeah, all kind of mess comes around it. So when it hangs all in the air, and you know you can just clean below it and it stays clean. I think it hangs there great. So now I can make a section line coming through there and going around the corner, and I can also make it go into the workshop. So I got basically dust collection outside and inside, because I don't have a solid place where all the machines stand. I really need places where they can stand mobile. So when I'm making something, I can set everything up, I can connect it, and when I'm done, I can put the tractors back in the shed. I bought this jointer from my family. We had a woodworker in our family, we still have, but he is not doing woodworking anymore. So the machines came available, and this is one of the machines which I bought. So it's a 30 centimeter wide jointer, and I hope it will serve me well. As long as it's flat and I can paint it, then I got nice planks with it. So that will probably do the job more than enough for me. So let's assemble it and get it running. I cleaned up the complete tables of the machine as they were a bit rusty and they had a lot of paint on them, and I don't want to send new wood over old paint, so that could actually get into wood, and that's really a shame if you want to use the wood like blank. So now it's nice and clean and we're ready to use it. I also made a new cable on it, as the old cable, it looks like it was really chewed up, so it was good to get rid of it. This is still a temporary cable, but this is the connector I had laying. It's an old connector, but I still have these connections in the workshop, so that's not an issue at all. A new connector is easily fitted, so that's also no issue at all. Now I also got this machine with a complete bundle, and this is a feeding machine. So it actually has rolls on the bottom side which can drive wood over a machine, and this was originally used for the milling machine which I got, but I also want to make it fit for our jointer, as it's really nice if the jointer can joint automatically. That way I can make wood nice and flat, but not thickness planing it, just flat wood. But that's more than enough for me, and that will work well. So I already made a mount that I can mount on here to actually get to this point, and on top of this point I can actually build the mechanism for auto feeder. As with the auto feeder, this mechanism comes, so it connects into here, this pipe into here, and then we can adjust basically every angle of the feeder and lock it in place. And then this is the beam that I made to go on the side of the machine where the complete auto feeder setup can sit on. So that way we got a nice and decent support, and it's independently from the height that we adjust the tables on. It should be really rigid, as we don't want our auto feeder to wobble around. So I like to be planing some wood today, but I don't have dust collection yet. At least I do have it, and I started hanging it up, but I don't have all the parts. So we're gonna salvage one of these hoses, and if I have to buy them new for only a meter or two, they are still really expensive. So it makes sense to cut some piece of this one and use that hose instead. And I can also use this hose to actually suck the sawdust out of the machine, so the planer gets all the sawdust into the dust collection and not just on the ground. Because having it on the ground while planing that much wood, that's making a mess. So let's get the hose out and onto the trailer and head home with it. That's some nice big hose, so we're gonna use that to get all this collection complete. So I made a nice little setup here so we can plane all the planks. So I can take them off this pallet, put them on that pallet, and then run them once more on the other side. They don't get on perfectly the same thickness everywhere, but that doesn't matter as long as it's flat and I can paint it, then it's nice for me. It's a nice pack of wood. So we got all the wood flat and we can use it now to make a house. And we will do that. So let's make the saw ready and then we can actually build that house like we wanted. Well, this beautiful saw also came where the jointer was coming from and also the milling machine. My idea is to have this saw sitting on a pallet and then make a platform on it. That way I can stack it away easily and still use it when I need to. And when I put it on a bin, it has the perfect height. I don't need this all day, it's just for projects. So that's why I want to have it on a pallet, so I can stack it away. Now let's make a plate that goes on top of there, so that we have a nice working platform. Of course, we have swapped faces, and I realize I have a lot of machines which I have to swap, so I better swap this one. Every machine I swapped until yet has received a plug which can easily swap, so that doesn't matter at all for the future. But I want this plug to be the same as all the other plugs in the company, and at this moment this one seems to be different, and I always thought the other one was different, till I realized there was multiple connectors which were wrong. So we're gonna swap the faces.